From Columbia, South Carolina, this is WIS News Primetime.
Well, good evening. Thanks so much for joining us for WIS News Primetime. I'm Greg Adeline.
And I'm Hannah Burbank. Every weekday at 7:30, we'll be here to tell the untold stories of kindness, community, and hope across the Midlands.
And tonight, we ask a question that many hope they'll never have to answer. What do you do if life dealt you an unexpected hand, especially when that hand could be life-altering?
One Palmetto State athlete had to find her own answer to that question after facing the possibility of never recovering from an accident. Instead of staying down, she took it in stride.
Our Sam Shapiro joins us live in studio now after getting to know this Palmetto State Paralympian. And Sam, I understand that she never pictured herself participating in this sport. So what led her there?
Well, Greg, you know, Ellen Geddes was just 22 years old when she broke her back in a car accident, but the athlete would find a silver lining in her tragedy, using the situation to become a Paralympian. Ellen Geddes got into fencing through a strange invitation.
The fencing team for the Shepherd Center was practicing, and their team captain at the time, Dennis Aspey, invited me to try and stab people, which was entertaining and was a good pitch for me, and it worked.
The invite came at a time when Geddes wasn't sure she would ever compete again athletically. She had ridden horses competitively, but in 2011, a car accident would stop her from riding or walking ever again. She would go to the Shepherd Center in Atlanta for rehab. Even though she had to learn how to fence in a wheelchair, within her first year of practicing and competing, Geddes qualified for her first wheelchair world championship team.
Which is kind of ludicrous, right? So there was a lot of losing in those first competitions, right? But I am nothing if not stubborn. So I continued training and continued competing.
Geddes would miss qualifying for the Rio Paralympics, losing internationally through roughly her first 8 years competing overseas. Despite this, she was still one of the best parafencers in the country, and her teammates encouraged her to continue honing her craft. Early in her career, her childhood friend Helen traveled with her to a World Cup where she competed in Hungary. After watching her friend in action, Helen gave Geddes a pep talk.
She pulls me into a back room and she's like, "Hey, so I've known you for a really long time, and I'm very impressed with how you've made all of these people think this is your top level of effort. But I know it's not. So if you really want to do this and you want to live up to the expectations that all these people have for you, you really need to work harder." And that was the real change.
It was just the advice Geddes needed to take her career to the next level. In 2020, she would go on to qualify for the 2020 Paralympics in Tokyo. Through international competition over roughly the last 4 years, she would bring in her first win and a lot of additional hardware to go with it.
I have bronze medals from World Cups and silver medals from World Cups and 5 gold medals from zonal championships across the 2 different zonal championships that I competed in.
Geddes feels her performance at World Cups and zonal championships over the last few years have set the stage for a strong performance in Paris, hoping to land a spot on the podium and take home the gold.
I am set up very well to have a successful game, so I am looking forward to kind of peaking well for the games and hopefully winding up on the medal stand.
Geddes is stoked to return to the Paralympics in August, where this time she'll be able to hang out with other athletes from all over the world. She hopes her story will inspire others in a similar situation, that with persistence, there are no limits if you take your best stab at it.
When you first start something new, you have to be prepared to lose, and you have to keep going, even if you started with losing, you will get better.
Yes, indeed. Wow.
Now, guys, the Aiken native also told me that she competes in 2 different events. Now, I didn't know this, but that typically when you're fencing, you usually compete in only one event, but she competes in the, excuse if I pronounce this wrong, the épée and the foil events. So best of luck to her.
Wow, what an inspiration. Yeah, best of luck. Congratulations to her.
Yeah, incredible. When you just think of all that she's able to accomplish. Yeah. Wish her the best of luck.
Absolutely. I'm betting on her this August in where they're competing for the Paralympics.
You bet.
Absolutely. All right, well, let's go ahead and get a check of our first alert weather. Chief Meteorologist Adam Clark is standing by. And Adam, it has been a hot stretch of days.
Yes, the heat is like saying, on guard, right?